When you're planning and building out your travel work setup, it is really important to be intentional about what you bring. It is so easy to bring things that you actually might not need. And I feel like, if I can say so myself, I have nailed it. The first item, the first piece of gear, will not come as a surprise because every work setup is centered around this one item, and that is our computer. And in my case, the beautiful, slightly dirty M1 Max MacBook Pro. Now this is the 16-inch to be exact. It's 4 years old. I'm still rocking the M1 Max and I love it. It still holds up very well. I think it was a great investment. Now, should you go for the 16-inch? In my case, I have always confidently said yes. I just prioritize and prefer the biggest screen that I can bring with me, and having those 2 extra inches makes a ton of difference in my opinion, especially because I'm editing, I'm color grading. I don't want to be with my nose on the screen, you know? Now, speaking of screens, this is actually not my only screen. Now, obviously, traveling with a monitor is almost impossible, if not impossible, and definitely not the way that I like to travel because I like to keep things compact, portable, efficient. So I am using my MacBook Pro, iPad Pro. Now this is the iPad Pro. It is the biggest one that they have, so I believe that is a 13-inch, and it is honestly the best investment that I made because the fact that I can use it as a second monitor as I'm working, it just makes your life as a creative so much easier. And the best part, of course, as you know about the Apple ecosystem, is that everything just works together flawlessly. It works together seamlessly. So I just turn on screen mirroring, it immediately finds my iPad, and now suddenly I have a second monitor. And this is great when I'm editing. Sometimes I just need to put some extra panels on there, so I want to just expand my screen. And sometimes I need to look for music, for example, and I need my browser open, so I just put that on the iPad and then I keep Premiere Pro on my computer. The biggest mistake that I have made that I still regret to this day when it comes to buying this MacBook is that I did not max out on storage. So the next item that I believe is vital in my travel work setup, and probably yours as well, is an SSD. Now I have these two. These two are from Lexar. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. This one I like specifically because it comes with a magnetic sleeve. So as you can see, it has a little circle, so you can attach it to your iPhone if you want to shoot in ProRes and you need external storage for that. Or if you want to attach it to your MacBook. If you do not like SSDs dangling around, this might be the solution for you. Now I also like that they're fast, they're reliable, which is really important, and they're small. These are just SSDs that I work off of, so they have a lot of my active projects on it right now that I'm working on, but also backing up is really important. And yes, I have learned that the hard way. Even if you think I'm just gonna put everything on the SSD and I'll back it up when I get home, don't. Always back it up right after the day. And that is why I have this. This is an external hard drive. I could get more SSDs because they're faster and maybe better, but this is a more cost-effective solution, so I just use this for backing up. Let me tell you about the best investment and the most boring investment that I made. I bought a NAS. Specifically, I bought the Synology NAS. The beautiful thing about a NAS is that you can just keep it at home and you can access your files from anywhere in the world. So instead of having to bring all of your 20, 30, 50 hard drives with you in case you need access to an old project, you can just access your NAS on your MacBook wherever you are. So right now I'm in Canada. I live in Europe. I actually needed some files from an older project. I can just very easily open up my NAS database and get my files from home. Like I said, it is a boring investment simply because it is a lot of money and you don't get to do anything fun with it. It's not like you get a new lens for your camera or something, but trust me, when you are traveling and you get access to your files, it actually becomes a very fun investment, and I'm genuinely happy that I spent that money. The next gadget that I always bring with me to optimize my travel work setup is a pair of headphones. Now, I've had these specific headphones for years now, because if there's one thing you need to know about me is that I do not upgrade my gear unless I have to. So these are the Sony XM3s. I believe that they're now at 5 or maybe even 6. And these are such great value for money. They are incredible at noise cancellation, which is great if you're traveling, great quality when you're editing. Now, I also always bring my Apple AirPods, of course, but the reason why I don't use them in my work setup is because when I'm editing, there is a delay with that Bluetooth connection. So I always just bring my little cable and I plug in my headset, and I think my headphones, and I think that the quality is a lot better that way as well. I need you to stick with me for this one, okay? Because it might sound really boring, but trust me, this this is one of the best things you can bring with you and add to your travel work setup, because this, did you hear that sound? That was actually really fun. You can put your SD cards in here as you're traveling to keep them all safely in one place. As you can see, micro SD, it's got regular SD cards, but then also what's beautiful about this, now my MacBook actually has an SD card reader, but sometimes if you want to just plug it in and you want to drop all of the footage on your MacBook or on your SSDs immediately, you can just put them all in here at once and connect it with the USB-C, offload all of your footage at once. It comes in this metal case, so it's very sturdy. Everything is safe. Everything is in one place. Highly recommend to add this to your travel work setup. I will say that these are all the essentials, but there's a few more things that I bring with me. Now, one of them is a good old power bank. Now, as you can see, this is quite a brick, but that is because it allows me to charge my MacBook when I'm on the go. I don't use this when I'm actually in an Airbnb or whatever, but I always make sure that it's charged. Now, speaking of chargers, I also bring this multi-charger with me. This is actually quite a fun one because it just flips out, and I do put this on my desk when I'm editing because you can charge your phone as well as your watch as well as your AirPods because it is foldable. It's so easy to bring with you when you're traveling. The best part about this mobile desk setup is that it actually all fits in my camera bag and actually leaves a lot of room for my camera stuff, because the one thing that I do not want to do when I'm traveling is checking in any of the gear that my career quite literally relies and depends on. So I love the fact that I get to be super productive with this setup and also fit it into my backpack. Now, this specific one is the Peter McKinnon Nomadic backpack. I've been using this one for years and it holds up really well. It is really great quality. And again, everything fits in it. Now, this setup, it covers the work, but what about the fun part? What about the filming and the content creation? In that same backpack, I pack not only my desk setup, but also my full but minimalist camera setup that I bring everywhere I go in the world. So if you're interested, I break it all down in this video right here. If there's no video there yet, that means that I'm still working on it. So make sure that you subscribe, you hit the notification bell, do all the YouTube things, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. See you.